Hiya, this is Panthers corridor. We'll go in the locker room in a minute. On the other side is the special room. We'll go in there in a minute. This is the kids store room. This is where all the gear, all the sticks and all the skates and everything are put together, sorted out, sharpened skates, blades made right, tape put on. Everything's sorted out in here, heat guns, vices, rivets, you name it, we've got it. We've got our own washing facilities here and what have you for behind the scenes. But that's not what we're about today. We're about meeting the coach. Follow me. Let's go into the locker room. So this is Panthers locker room. You might have seen it before. We're pretty media friendly at the Panthers, so we get lots of cameras in here. It's looking quite neat and tidy actually. Anything that equipment manager Adam Goodridge has anything to do with is in danger of looking like a teenager's bedroom sometimes. But we've had practice today. And there's one more room to show you before we go to the special room over the way. This is the coach's office. This is where the man with the plan does that planning and plotting and scheming. He's in here now. Coach, get your darts.
Alright, when am I going to go?
And this is this is where the guys warm up and warm down before and after games. You've got the two bikes here, you probably can't see them. But this has become the love of their lives between games. And you can't get certain people out of this room. And David Clark thinks he is the best darts player in Britain, even though he was pushed very close. Rory, we're going to play darts.
Okay. There's one. There's two. There's three.
Hey, you just said you don't play and you just got 3 20s in a row.
Isn't that good?
Now, in player profiles, we always say to players, when did you start? When did you first start playing and what have you? The answer's always 4. I never used to ask the question after a while, you just fill it in. Started skating age 4. Did you start skating age 4?
I don't know if I started skating. My father brought me out at 4. I lied on the ice and licked it. But I was pretty good. We're going for 20s, right?
Yeah, I got 1. Yeah.
I get to score those soon, right?
You're on 20s to score right now, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've only got the 1.
Well,
So you were 4?
I was 4. That's a good guess.
Okay.
And
what about juniors? Where did you play junior hockey?
What? I played in Ontario, North Bay. I moved out when I was 17. There's no really good place to play out east. Oh, I got 18 though. That count?
By accident you got 18.
That's okay, I'm that bad.
Yeah.
But I moved out there, 17, that's about 16 hours away from where I lived.
Put your 18.
You got 18 too?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go orange, I think. Orange is better color for me. Are we playing 19s too?
Yeah.
Alright.
So that was juniors, and then you turned pro. You were drafted. You played some AHL. You played a lot of IHL.
Yep.
What were the highlights there? Where was the best place to play?
Well, I played junior North Bay. It was a freezing cold northern Canadian town. It's okay. It happens. I'm drafted after my first year.
I'm from the Northeast. I'm supposed to be playing better darts than you.
Drafted in to the NHL after my first year, really high. The draft was quite cool. It was in Hartford, one of the worst cities in the world, I think. I got 1s there.
Yeah, you got a 20. You scored 20.
But that was good.
Did you do the whole business at the draft where you had to put the shirt on and have your picture taken and everything?
Do you know what? An interesting story of the draft. I went to the draft with my mother and my girlfriend at the time, and the draft was split out on 2 days. It was the first day and second day. First day was the first 2 rounds. I wasn't touted to go then. And then the next day had the next 10 rounds or whatever it was. We get up, we're trying to go. The women are running late as usual. Get down ready for the bus, and there's only 2 spots left on the bus, so someone has to sit behind. So there's my girlfriend and my mother, and my girlfriend's only 17, and we're in this big city, so everyone says, don't worry, you go, I'll catch the next bus. I get there with my girlfriend, sit down, and wouldn't you know, I was drafted the first pick, 53rd overall, and my mother's not even there. So we drove all the way there, she wasn't there. It was pretty bad, but it was great all at the same time. She was happy, but pretty sad she missed it.
Now, your mum thinks you're the best D-man in the world, doesn't she?
She actually does.
That's her job.
Yeah.
That's her
yeah.
job.
She thinks that everyone was out to get me. I should be playing in the NHL. Yeah.
Yeah. But I like your mum as well because she quite likes me as a GM as well. She sends me the odd email, so
Yeah, she likes
so
you.
she's cool. And your mother-in-law makes great shortcake.
Yes, she does actually.
Yeah.
You've been stuffing your face full.
I've had 2 pieces of it.
Maybe
all.
that's why you got a sugar rush and you just can't stay still.
Yeah, okay. I'll throw my darts in a minute. I want to ask you another question. So you went to the pros.
Mm-hmm.
You never actually made the show.
Nope.
That's because, as your mum says, there was a conspiracy to stop Corey Nielsen playing in the show.
Hit and miss. I had the great first year of junior. I got a ton of points. Was on an excellent team. Went back my second year, and that was back in the day when everyone was the defenseman. Someone my size had to fight, and beat people up all the time. And obviously, I'm not very good at that. So I just went back my second year. Didn't really want to do that, and I really struggled from then on. And then once I grew up a little bit, matured, and was okay to fight, I kind of lost a little bit of an opportunity there. So a couple of down years.
Right place, right time as ever in sport.
Yeah, my own fault. I mean, skill and skating, all that stuff, I probably could have managed it, but it was just intimidated, fear for whatever.
So then you played, like we say, you played in the pros. Good standard of pro though. Good. The IHL when it was the IHL, not the imitation IHL.
Yeah,
The
no,
imitation
I played for some good teams, and obviously the 3 training camps, Doug Waite and all these, current stars. It was good. It was a lot of fun.
And then you came to Britain. You landed in Nottingham.
Mm-hmm.
We've had some highlights. One of the highlights came this year, earlier in the year. It wasn't a home game, so it's not on our highlights reel, but you actually ended up playing against an NHL side.
Yeah, well, that was obviously every kid's dream. One, nice. Oh, yes.
Playing out today.
Yes. Every kid's dream is playing the NHL, and mine is as well. Was, and the Boston Bruins too. Pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's a good game.
It was a great game, and you know what? I've always wondered if I could compete at that speed and that level. Obviously, being big, and everyone's always told me you're not fast enough, and it was never a factor. It was never a factor, and those guys were big and strong, and I thought they'd be bigger for some odd reason.
Well, the captain was bigger.
The captain's huge.
This is a guy, folks, who is so big they've changed the rule in the NHL so you can have a longer stick than the maximum length. He's huge.
So I'm playing this game, and for whatever reason I get close to their net, and lo and behold, Char's there. And I thought, I better do something. So I slashed him. I hit him hard with my stick, and he looked at me like, "What are you doing here?" I'm Char, he hit me with his stick. So he proceeded to hit me as hard as he could and lift his stick up right between my legs. And I ran away like as fast as I could. But I was right there for a second. All right, 20s. I'm going to do this. Triple.
You're scoring on 20s.
Yeah,
That's a 5.
That was
It's
close.
close, though.
This is loose. I think it's just not regulation darts right now.
No, you scored again.
Oh.
Okay, I've got to shut 20 down, but you've kind of neatly brought us into this season. The Boston game, of course, was over in Belfast, and our first league game this season was against Belfast, and it turned out to be a cracking first game, wasn't it? With penalty shootout, the works, bit of everything.
Well, we were kind of, Belfast had the
Awful today.
Belfast had this big aura about them that they were going to run away with the league from all their AHL signings, and obviously we went for youth this year, and we just didn't know what was gonna happen getting against all these guys who are proven veteran players, and I've got a lot of kids here, and we were without some key players of our own, a whole bunch of unknowns, new goaltender, all these new things. So we get out there and we played really well. We struggled. The first 10 minutes we didn't know what we were up against, and then we kind of composed ourselves. Some of the leaders, the Jades and Danny Myers, and these guys really seemed to take it upon themselves to lead, and we played great, and we had them. They were chasing us the whole night, so I thought we deserved that win big time.
We've had some good wins. You go on.
You want to see this?
No, yeah, I want to see whether you can score any more.
All right, triple 20. Ah, that was so close. There it is.
You have played before, haven't you?
I'm okay.
All right, it's time to bring you down. It's time to make the head shrink.
All right.
Corey, we haven't beaten Sheffield in our barn so far this year.
Ouch.
That's your fault for scoring 80.
We beat them 8 out of 10 times last year, though.
I know last year was last year. Yeah, I'm the one that used to remind people of that.
Yeah. They're very good. They're a good team. It's a
Right,
great
20
team. There
should.
it is. It is. 19's my nemesis. I don't like the bottom half of the board.
Yeah.
So
So are we going to beat Sheffield?
I think
You
it's
know,
gonna all these top teams. It's gonna be they're gonna be in or around 500, and then I think a lot of it'll come down to who beats the bottom teams the most. But
Well, 24 hours before we're standing here, well, you're playing darts. I'm a bit camera shy when it comes to the sporting side of things. 24 hours ago, Edinburgh beat Coventry.
that's the thing. I mean, these teams are dangerous. And I said we went and played decently well. And they scared the life out of us come to the end. And they don't seem to have a whole lot to play for at times. So when they put it together, it's scary. They've got some great offensive players. And when it comes down to it, when they just go for it, it's always tough. But we put them in a decent position by not being our usual selves.
The cliche is never applied any more than it does this year, though, does it? Any team can beat any team on any day. Especially if you don't turn up to play.
Yeah, is that 17? It's tough. I mean, I wouldn't have said that about Old Dundee, because if we would have showed up playing wrong-handed, we would have beat them. But now they've turned the corner, and when we played them last game, they were excellent. What are we doing now? 19s?
Yeah, you got one off 19 and one off 17.
I'm just sparkling the board around here. This is good.
So we got Edinburgh beating Coventry, which no one expected.
No.
I think that Edinburgh had lost 8 in a row and then they beat them. So that brings us to Coventry. We've talked about Sheffield.
Yeah.
Arch rival Sheffield. Biggest crowd, biggest rivalry in Europe.
Yeah.
But actually you hate Coventry more.
Yes. Yeah, I do. Am I allowed to say that on the air?
Yeah, of course you can. Yeah, I mean, it all stems up. I mean, I was around, I knew what happened. All that was, we go into Coventry, and we hadn't won there for about 2 years, 2.5 years. We hadn't won there.
No.
And you now took over, and you destroyed the myth. You got the boys believing in themselves, and the comment was merely, I now believe the myth is broken. I now believe this team, my team, Nottingham's team, can beat Coventry in Coventry. They took great exception to this and came out with all this bad-mouthing stuff about us having our heads in the clouds and Team Hollywood and what have you.
Rookie apprentice in the field, I believe, is what I was called.
A what?
A rookie apprentice in the field.
A rookie apprentice in the field.
I don't remember things like that.
As opposed to a telecom
Yeah.
engineer or whatever. Bottom line is, however much they try and pretend, oh, that's gone now, that's finished,
Yeah.
we will always remember it, won't we? You know,
Yeah.
we bear a grudge.
Yeah, I think the word I said the mystique of the Coventry Blaze is over. And it's just the spell they had on everybody. Those 2 years I played under Mike Ellis going to that arena, before the puck dropped, it was, they crushed us. It was, they broke our spirit. I just meant that, it wasn't the same. And we always knew we were in a game, we had a chance, and with our team, we played so well, we played so hard. And we have the guys like Bruce's and Cam and these guys and Max who are so gritty and so hardworking. And it's not the same anymore. So. And they don't have room in it anymore, which was the Nigerian nightmare, and that was scary in itself.
Well, he had a cup of coffee with us, didn't he?
Yeah,
He
awesome.
popped over to see us. So the season's shaped up good so far. The rest of the season's going to be great, but I've got one last thought for you. Your favourite coach, Paul Thompson,
Yep.
went into a well-known fast food chain. He said, give me 2 Whoppers. And the bloke behind the counter said, you're good looking and you know about ice hockey.
Ooh.
That's double 18.
That's double 18? You're
Yeah.
in?
No, I'm up there. Okay,
I don't know.
It's time to turn the cameras off now because I'm going to start playing properly.
Really?
Yeah.